Greetings and salutations, YouTube. Friar Chuck here, and I don't want him to do this. Uh, we are back for a brand new Let's Play on the channel. We are kind of in a little bit of a resurgence here with the channel, and I could not bring a resurgence back without our favorite game, Skyrim. Um, there's going to be a lot of stuff with the channel that I'll get into here in a second. If you watched the Baldur's Gate 3 video that was posted before this, then some of that you'll know. If not, I will still get into it one way or the other. I'll kind of mention it in every new series that we start up until this point, or past this point. Um, but this is a new character that I do have a backstory for. I want to get more story-driven type characters in here, kind of like what we were doing with the Kade, which was very successful. It kind of just died out. But I've got two characters that I really, really like that I've created, and hopefully I can create a wider universe with them in it, with more characters. But anyway, let's read his backstory here, which I do have typed up. Okay, here goes. I remember the last great calamity of Tamriel, the Oblivion Crisis. Thousands of dangers storming into our realm in service to the vile Mehrunes Dagon. I fought, of course, in service to our leader and his empire. Eventually, the invasion was stopped, and Tamriel was met with a period of relative peace. That is when I met my eventual wife. We were both blades, neither of us on any particular assignment at the time. Soon after we wed, our first and only child, a son, was born. Fathering a son is perhaps my greatest sin, or at least how I raised the boy. Our ways of life kept us away from the home, me more than my wife, but on occasion, both of us. I believe this is what led to my son's bitterness and anger. I didn't realize it at the time, but he grew to hate both of us and what we were. While his anger grew, so did the group that would become the Blade's greatest enemy and eventual downfall, the Thalmor. During the Great War, the Thalmor realized the Blades were the greatest threat to their power and control over Tamriel, so they ordered a mass slaughter of every single Blade's member. This, of course, included me and my wife, and for my son, this provided him with an end to that which had caused him so much pain and anger over the course of his life. I was on an assignment when the execution order came. My wife was not. I arrived home to find my son standing over the body of his mother, her head in his hand. "The time of the blades is over, father," he said, his voice dripping with venom and anger. "The Thalmor have ordered the execution of your people, and I am more than happy to obey." I couldn't believe what had happened, what my own flesh and blood had turned into. But my training soon took over, and I drew my sword, almost unthinkingly. I, of course, could not kill my son, no matter what he now was. I swung my sword at his head, turning the flat portion out the instant before it struck home, and knocked the boy unconscious. I immediately fled, taking a boat to the farthest point that I thought I could hide, Akavir. And so I stayed in Akavir for many years until the news of what was happening in Skyrim reached my ears. Dragons, the original sworn enemy of the Blades. Despite my shame and my failures, I couldn't ignore my oath. It was time to return to Tamriel. Okay, so that is the backstory for our new character here on the channel. His name is Kalendor. He is a high elf. Um, and like I said in the backstory, he was a blade. It still is a blade, technically. It's just the blades don't really exist. Um, yeah, he was a blade. He's been alive for a while since the Oblivion Crisis. And I haven't really established how soon. Before that, I don't know a ton about Skyrim lore before the Oblivion Crisis, and not a ton about it then either, because I've actually never played Oblivion. Don't crucify me. Um, but yeah, so he was in Akavir, took a ship to back to Skyrim, or took a ship to Skyrim, not back to Skyrim. He's actually never been here, so everything is going to be new to him, which I think is a neat uh, aspect of the character, and it also provides, his exile in or his forced exile in Akavir really provides us with a good basis for why he's kind of out of practice with everything and why he's not as strong as he would have been at his heyday as a blade. Um, so let's actually get geared back up. Obviously, when it comes around to it, he will be wearing Blade's armor, but I do have a set of armor currently, and for any of you that were fans of the Fallen Knight series, you will recognize it. Um, can we get out of the water, please? My apologies. I haven't played Skyrim in a while. I've been mostly playing Baldur's Gate, so I'm going to be a little off on some of the controls. But okay, so this is our armor, and I like to kind of flavor this as a set of Blades armor that he's kind of let go by the wayside just because obviously he hasn't been around. I tried to wear the Blades armor with just the coat and the helm, but it didn't work. So I liked the hood and the kind of tattered cloak, which I guess I could have done it without the hood. But anyway, so this is him. He has a sword. This is actually not technically a blade sword. It's actually an Akaviri sword, which again I thought was very fitting for him. I'm gonna imagine that he kind of just, he was in his armor when he fled, and I kind of imagine like on the way there, he just kind of like tossed his sword into the sea, um, never to be seen again. But let's uh, let's get out of here. Um, we are playing on expert difficulty, by the way, so and I am obviously playing with mods. That's not a base armor that you can get in Skyrim. And I'm honestly not even 100% positive what all mods I have turned on. I don't remember, but some of them Creation Club, and some of them will come into play. And also, my look sensitivity has got to come down again. This is crazy. Again, I've been playing Baldur's Gate, so it's not okay. That's better. The less responsive it is right now, the better. I'm gonna get used to it and bump it back up. But he's gonna want to loot everything to try and, because he's kind of starting from scratch here. He needs all the help he can get at the moment. Brand new to the area, doesn't know Skyrim at all. Knows Tamriel, but he was mostly stationed in Cyrodiil for the Oblivion Crisis and the years afterwards. Um, and like I said, he is a high elf. Um, his wife is a high elf, and so therefore his son is also a high elf. On the way here, obviously his boat got into a crash, and oh, that's very fitting. Dead passenger. So obviously for the role play, we will say that it is not in fact a dead passenger. It is a Thalmor that attacked the ship, possibly getting word that there was a Blades member on board. Um, so he is going to swim for dry land. Obviously, the biggest portion of land he can see is straight ahead to the south. Um, okay, so as far as channel type stuff goes, I I have a new microphone. I was recording with just my headset, but I think I was using a headset that was not I was using a headset with a cord for it that wasn't original to it, and I think that was causing some of the sound issues. If you watch the college football realignment video, there was a lot of sound issues for it. Um, and so I tried to fix that. And then I was doing something else on my computer, messing with some stuff, and I accidentally deleted the settings for my Elgato to make it work. So I had to buy a new capture card too, so I'm using it. I think it's working out okay. Microphone is not the best. I may look to get a new one, but I think the capture card's good. Um, but yeah, so I'm trying to get kind of a new resurgence on the channel, get some more stuff up. Starting with Baldur's Gate, I'm probably going to do some Baldur's Gate I'm hopefully going to do some Baldur's Gate build videos. I've got one that I need to just record. I've got a character that'll be good for it. And there's slaughterfish coming for me. So get out of the way of these things. Them's just salmons. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? It's really. I think that's really most of it. There may be um, some other series that come up on the channel. Some from games that we've already played on the channel before. Some maybe not. Um, but like I said, I really want to get back into the swing of things on the channel. Um, with the new mic, uh, the new capture card. The success on that college football video really kind of emblazoned me, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna take this stuff and I'm gonna use it as I'm gonna disenchant it and kind of get some of the benefits out of it. Um, anything else of note? I guess it happens like I mentioned that two characters in mind, and then like all the talk of his son. You can probably figure it out. His son is the other character that will be joining eventually. I don't know how. Um, and again, like I said, if you watch the Fallen Knight series, known you'll have known that how we kind of did things. It'll be if we want to do something with one character, if it's like a major thing, then we'll only be able to do it once. Um, so like say for instance, like the biggest example I can think of is there will only be one Dragonborn in this universe. It's not either of them, so don't worry about that. But like, okay, so here in Dawnstar, for instance, the stuff with Vermina. So if Kalendor was to go and solve the issue, however he solved it, that's the way it is solved in the universe. Period. So, like, if we want to get uh the Skull of Corruption, we should really get it on a character that is going to be um that's going to be using it. Whereas with like Kalendor, I think it would make more sense for him to destroy the Skull of Corruption. I don't think he would be opposed to all Daedra necessarily, especially any that would be opposed directly to Mehrunes Dagon, which there are some. So I think any of those he would be willing to let help him. And I do have like I think the story so far for like his son, there are obviously some parallels. I'm kind of playing the Thalmor, like the Great War and the Thalmor execution on the blades, kind of almost playing it like the like Order 66 a little bit. Um, which realistically it kind of was. It was very similar anyway. Um, and obviously for some, when you're storytelling and something like this, if you don't have a lot of knowledge of it, you kind of just got to draw on stuff that you already know. And I kind of see it almost as an Order 66 type of situation. I know it wasn't like just, oh, hey, you've got a blade around you, kill it now type of situation. But I do think that since Kalendor's family was in uh was in Cyrodiil anyway, that his son would have heard the order, and because kind of a posted on the doors type of thing, oh, execute any and all blades and calling on the Thalmor. And I do think it. We'll see how he was kind of if he was working with them or not. But why is there a wolf here? Okay, there's a wolf dead. So obviously we've leveled up a few times here. You'll see me like randomly draw my sword a lot. That's going to be a reflex to try to get into the menu. I had to level up my smithing already. We started as level 2 because I had to level up my smithing a little bit to get my to be able to make this armor. So no, okay, I'm not running extra perks. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure. As far as like how he's gonna approach Kalendor, as far as how he's gonna approach the whole like being in Skyrim and being in a new place situation, um, he's gonna really look at it as a he's gonna look at it as a okay, try and find any possible surviving Blades members because I do think he believes that it's possible. The Great War wasn't that long ago, and like for him, I'm sure he views it as they can't all be gone. I mean, obviously, as more and more Star Wars material is released, we find lots more Jedi that survived Order 66, which I don't necessarily have a problem with. The idea that there were only two of them left. If you go off of the original trilogy and then after Revenge of the Sith, according to that, there were only Yoda and Obi-Wan as far as we saw. Um, so I don't really have a problem with us getting more and more Jedi that survived. I'm gonna be real rusty in combat, so uh, don't judge me too hard. So I think for now it's just gonna kind of be a we're just gonna kind of be wandering for a little while, and we'll I don't know who Cores is. This doesn't look like much of a camp. It looks like a pile of snow and blood. Okay, blood splatter, blood spatter. Gotta be a blood spatter analyst for a bit here. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so it's now 3 wolves and 2 skeevers we've killed. We're doing okay. It's not that he forgot how to fight. It's just that he's out of practice. I'm sure he did like basic training during his time in Akavir, but and I know the Blades did run an invasion in Akavir, um, but I'm kind of playing it as the people there kind of took pity on him almost. His whole group of people were wiped out, and they knew that the Thalmor wouldn't come there to look for him. these two characters. I've got like there's like specific parts of Skyrim that um, like specific missions and stuff that I would that I could know how I'm going to play them as for each character and what they would be doing to in that situation. And like I said, anything that needs to be accomplished, I will do off screen with the other character if I need to like progress the story. Um, so like if we want to get the Dragonborn stuff started, we will just to like get dragons in the universe because obviously that's the whole reason why he came here. We got kind of got to have dragons. Um, I will off screen. I will do the like I may still do Bleak Falls Barrow. Do Bleak Falls Barrow on screen, but then the like aftermath of them do off screen just so the dragons are here, and then when we get our dragonborn in the universe, we'll do we will see okay, kill the dragon and absorb its soul and all that stuff. I can't really take I can't take the dragonborn aspect of our character out of the game, so we would still be reading word walls and or I guess I could just leave them there, but we'd still be absorbing dragon souls. So it's it would be kind of difficult to not do that. I don't know of any mods that just eliminate your dragonborn status. And also, like as far as okay, as far as like this entrance into Skyrim is concerned, this is the last time we're gonna use it because obviously, if there were more people on the boat, he would have noted. These people are very depressing. Uh, yeah, I don't know that I've really got anything else to add to it. It's we'll make decisions based on how I feel that the character would make, whether it's gonna make us weaker or stronger or whatever. Um, and then as far as the houses go in Skyrim, obviously each character will only have one house, and each character, and once one house is used, then nobody else can use it. I mean, it's pretty with how we're doing this. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway. Um, as far as magic for this character goes, I think if we would get into any, it would be later, and it would be restoration and alteration. I don't think he would use destruction magic. Um, and the only time I would use it, he would use it, is if he were to realize that he's not strong enough. Because obviously he's come here looking for the dragons, and he's going to need some help doing that. But also, to a certain extent, he's not sure if his son is alive or not, and as far as that goes, once he meets him, it's going to be that's going to be a whole thing. Obviously, again with the Order 66 thing and the Skyrim parallels, there's a lot of comparisons that can be drawn between Kalindor's son and Anakin. They're both um, they both grew angry with their parental type figure. Okay, so enough to keep us away. Um, okay, and I think for him that's as good enough a jumping off point as any. He's gonna head to Helgen, and obviously, as she marked it on, he's got a map of Skyrim now, and she marked it on there so he knows where to head. Um, I do think he's still loyal to the Empire, despite their allegiance with the Palmore now. Um, but he understands. You kind of. I think he views it as if his people could have. 'Cause He's not angry. He's not bitter. He's kind of just tired. I think. Tired and sad is more of a. He sees if his people could have coexisted with the Thalmor, none of this would have happened. Um, and maybe he's still a little delusional about his son, and I guess he thinks that if the Thalmor wouldn't have come into power and none of their execution orders on Blades wouldn't have come, then maybe him and his wife would still be alive, and they could be a family again. But I think he'll eventually come to realize that that's not the case, and it would have happened regardless. That was just kind of the tipping point. Labyrinthian. We're kind of a little like one tracky right now, but I do think though if he just happened to see a dragon, like an area where it would make sense for a dragon to be, he would stop and uh, investigate, just see what's the what. That was prompted by seeing the dragon, uh, the dragon peak on the map. He doesn't know it's there because he's only going to go off of locations he's got marked, and that's not one of them. Uh, this is a Signs mod, and I picked the warrior class for this character because it got everything that I wanted, which is one-handed block, heavy armor, smithing. It's also got archery and two-handed on there, which we won't be using either of those.
A mammoth just fell from the sky. Oh, he okay. I do think investigating some of these ruins would suit him well, so he just kind of sees it and is going to go after it. He thinks maybe some of these ruins would have more organized bandits, and he knows he needs to practice his swordsmanship. Any potions? Some skooma. Anybody want that? A group of bandit falls. Spending a little bit. I also have not played Skyrim in ages. Like this is the first. Like I think this episode's been going for about 30 minutes at this point. This is the first 30 minutes of Skyrim I've played in a long time. Basically, since I started playing Baldur's Gate, which is back in December. I do think he needs to get him a bow. Going inside here may not be the smartest thing for him, but okay. Okay. We'll increase health and then increase magic. Cushion is not bad to have. Maybe what we take because I don't know that I need any of these. Sorry, that probably was not pleasant. Okay. Bandit's gone. That's a whole camp of bandits that he's now cleared. And I think we're going to wrap up the episode here. It's not been super, super long, but the lockpicking is not something that he has a lot of skill in. It's a. Oh, and as far as characters dying in this, like if they're gonna die permanently, it will be something that I kind of orchestrate through just the like off-screen stuff, and then my voiceover
But just like individual, like okay, like if I would have lost that fight with the bandits and would have died, I would say it's a we'll play it more as a tactical retreat, and so it'll just be like okay, he realizes he can't win the fight and he leaves. Um, he's obviously been humbled before, so he doesn't mind leaving a fight. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up the episode right here. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you're excited for the future of things to come on the channel. You're excited for Kalendor. You're excited for other characters to get involved. But I figured I dropped Baldur's Gate. I should give something for the Skyrim fans on the channel. So hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. This is Friar Chuck saying bye bye.